What's going on, everybody? Before we get into the video, I just want to say that this is not financial advice, purely my own personal charting analysis, and I'm going to leave it at that. Let's get into the video. What it do, guys, crew? Welcome back to another video. We're going to be talking today about Xom levels and what to be looking for as we go into tomorrow's trading session. But before we get into the video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's free, it helps me, and you lose nothing from it. But yeah, so let's get into it. Alright, so we see right now we're on the daily. And today we rejected 113.30 zone. Lowest we hit down to was 113.16, I believe, and then that initial 113.16 to 113.30 was that big support that we bounced off of. Which, with that being the case, and now we ended the day at 115, that being the case, this is just going to be our small drawdown before the initial push up, unless things go completely south and we shoot all the way down. But as of now, we are looking still bullish on my analysis. I'm thinking this is just a small drawback like we had here, came down, shot up higher to test our 1970, or what was it? We tested 1990 area and ultimately rejected off that. So after we rejected off that, we had a cool down, and now I'm thinking off that support, that 1330 support zone where we came up and ended the day at 115, we can now look towards tomorrow, depending on where we open and what levels we touch in pre-market. Let's go into a lower time frame. Zoom out. So today we had good consolidation at the end of the market. Congrats to everybody who made money on this down play and on the up play. We found out we had an ascending wedge. Chart that out for everybody. We had an ascending wedge, and we thought it was gonna go up. And ultimately, like I said in the previous video, you have to be mindful and watch for the breaks. It disrespected the chart pattern, and sure enough, came down to that 1440 zone that I had called out, that pullback here from 1440, 1420 zone, and that was support for this little area, and then came back up to the top at 1510. So we're still needing to cross and hold over that 115.10 mark. If we are able to do that, depending on how pre-market goes, what levels we touch, either we shoot up, we shoot down. Unfortunately, we don't have any news or really any other type of leads except for just ultimately watching the market and how it reacts. We don't have anything to give us that edge and information as of right now, because as far as earnings go, our second quarter earnings don't come out till next Friday, and that doesn't do us any good, because we still have Thursday and this Friday. So with the earnings coming out next Friday, there's still a lot of room to just play off of this little downside push and then retest that 1960 to 1990 range and hopefully push past that to create higher highs on this uptrend from the cup and handle that we all know that we're in. And with that, by the time we can pass that, by next week on Friday, and then over the weekend, so that following Monday, which I believe is the 5th of August. Yeah, the 5th of August. That following Monday, when market comes back to open, we can see that drop from the initial push up if everything goes smoothly to the upside. Now keep in mind that we can still see a play to the downside if all fails, pushing up and bulls just get swiped out and bears come in and just take over the whole trading scene for XOM. So just keep a lookout for this. We need to pass 1510. We had that little wick up to 1520, but we still need to break past and hold above 1510 because you see there's no candle where my dotted line across the screen is. That's at 115.10. You see there's no body of a candle that has formed and held above that level. So until then, we're not having any bullish movement. We're still bearish. We're still just consolidating under this resistance zone. Yeah, you see this wick up to 1520, showing that it wanted something to do with that, but ultimately it couldn't even get past. The body literally formed. The top of the body formed at 1510. So, with that being said, the key level for tomorrow for bulls, depending on where we open up, and in the chat, I'll be looking at pre-market. I'll say if we're above this key level in pre-market, so meaning that we're going to be opening higher or opening lower than that 1510, and then we need to break for any downside movement. We need to break past 1450 because how we play holes in halves. So we need to break past that 1450 to see any further downside, and then to push down to 14, and then that 14 range we got fair value gap, which is one of the strategies that I play on top of support and resistance. So you see these big green candles coming up, that gives us a big fair value gap. So in that 14 range, that 114 range, we have a fair value gap. So if we come down past that 114.50 to then push down to 114, we still have good fair value gap support to then do an initial another bounce off. And if that 114 fails, then you already know. Now we're going down to 113.50. Simple as that. We do halves and wholes. You know this. We've been preaching this. We've been teaching this. If you don't know, you know now. Give it the program. And it's okay if you don't, because that's what you're here for. You're here to learn and earn. That's why I'm making these videos, to educate everybody in the gas crew. I want everybody to be on all 10 toes, standing on what they do, and fully getting a grasp of this stock and understanding how to be able to master the stock. Because if you can take the time, spend your effort, energy, and consistently go hard every single day that you spend on the charts, on this stock, and in the chat, you will be able to master this. And once you master this simple stock, and you've been able to leverage 3 or more contracts, you've been able to have consistent $100 days, 100% return days, consistently, whatever you learn from this stock, you are now able to take from it and now go apply it to a stock like the S&P, QQQ, Microsoft, Apple, these big stocks that a lot of traders make a lot of money on. Tesla. You can take everything you learn from this and now go apply it to those other tickers as well. And that's just the beauty in it, because you just need to get the fundamentals down, the mindset, and having this great community uplifting everyone, and this family making sure we're all succeeding. The only way you're going to fail is if you let yourself fail, because ultimately we're all here. We're all getting after this bag. We all want this. We're all trying to make sure each other are doing what we need to do and holding each other accountable. And you also, at the end of the day, have to hold yourself accountable. Because as a human being, if you're not able to hold yourself accountable for anything that you do, then you're not going to succeed. That's just the truth. If you take a loss in the market and you blame it on, oh, the volume was poor, it's just the market's fault. But really, it was because you didn't follow your strategy, you forced a trade, you had FOMO, and ultimately you just didn't take accountability, because at the end of the day, if you were to follow your trading rules, your strategy, and look for only A+ sit-ups, you wouldn't have lost the trade. And you wouldn't have anything to blame but yourself, because at the end of the day, the only thing that you should be able to blame is yourself. It has nothing to do with the market, it has everything to do with you. And once you're able to understand that and take accountability, on top of mastering your mindset, mastering your trading rules, and all these other strategies and tips that give you an edge over the market, then will you start to be successful and notice it. But alright guys, that's all I'm going to say. I'm done preaching to y'all. These are the levels for today. I hope this was useful. I will get in with y'all tomorrow morning. Everybody have a great night. If you're seeing this video tonight, I will see you tomorrow. If you're seeing this in the Grand Rising, then you'll see me in the chat. But as of now, I'm out. Have a great night. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Deuces.